Hi everyone, thanks for clicking on this video. Today I wanted to talk about whether or not the narcissist knows that they are a narcissist. If this is the first video of mine that you're watching, I was in an abusive relationship with a narcissist for 5 years, and this has been a big question for me as I embark on this healing journey. A lot of different questions are coming up about the relationship, about the narcissist, about myself. But one that I found I really wanted to get some answers on is whether or not my ex-narcissist or narcissists in general know that they are narcissists. My ex was a covert narcissist. And so I think a lot of the research that I've come across seems to be geared towards overt narcissists. So, for example, when I Googled, do narcissists know that they're narcissists, what came up was an article from Psychology Today. And they say that narcissists are fully aware that they're narcissistic and that they have a reputation as such. So that statement I kind of had an issue with because I think that covert narcissists especially and communal narcissists don't have a reputation of being a narcissist due to the nature of their narcissism. If they're covert, they can hide it well, and they often present as being the opposite of a narcissist. So I think that the Psychology Today article, although it was the first result, it was more geared towards overt narcissism. Like they go on to say that narcissists would rather be admired than liked, and that narcissists are masters at making first impressions, leading them to do better with short-term relationships, which I think is relevant for both overt and covert narcissists. Looking further into this, I found another article that was a study done in 2011, and it also asked the question, do narcissists know that they're narcissists? And there's two different views to this. So the first is that narcissists might lack the insight into their personality and reputation that would be needed to know and understand that they're narcissists. And then the other view is that narcissists do have the insight into their personality and reputation. The results from the study indicated that narcissists tend to make positive first impressions, but are less positively seen by people who know them well, so that people that are close to them might see them more negatively than new acquaintances did, or surface level relationships might see the narcissist. Similarly, narcissists might perceive narcissistic traits as being desirable. For example, they may associate narcissism with respect or status. Narcissists might fully understand the meaning of narcissistic traits and understand the negative impact that these traits have on others, and this could explain why narcissists suffer from psychological distress like anxiety and depression, particularly in interpersonal relationships. So the study concluded that narcissists understand that others do not see them as positively as they see themselves, and that they make positive first impressions that tend to deteriorate over time. That is the love bomb to devalue to discard stage. Yeah, it's deteriorating over time because you see who they actually are, and they hate that. Furthermore, they describe themselves and their reputation as narcissistic. So that was the findings from that study. The last study has less to do with do narcissists know that they're narcissists and more about my personal experience with my ex-narcissist. And I am in graduate school for mental health counseling, and during the last year of my relationship with a narcissist, I was just starting to take some classes. And in one class, we were talking about cluster B type personalities, and we came across the MPI, the Narcissistic Personality Inventory, and I've always been big on assessments. And I just think they're fun, like personality types, different types of assessments like that. So I thought it would be fun to take the assessment. And I think my ex was home at the time. And so I said, let's just both take this. And I took the assessment, scored in the normal range. He took the assessment, and of course he scored in the high range likelihood to have MPD. So then this study I found is just backing up the validity and reliability of the MPI. The study found that the MPI and MPD were strongly related, and that the results of the MPI are quite relevant for the assessment of MPD. So, I remember after the results of the MPI were revealed, I still, due to the brain fog, the manipulation, the gaslighting, probably a combination of all of those things, I just tried to justify it away. I just thought, well, maybe he took the test wrong, or I don't even know how I justified it at the time. But something that I think was shocking or surprising to me at the time was he didn't seem surprised or even bothered by the results. And that should have been a big red flag there. But so that leads me to believe that, at least in my situation with my ex-narcissist, he knew that he was a narcissist. More on my personal opinion, although I agree with all of the research, I think that it does depend on a few things as to whether or not the narcissist knows that they're a narcissist. So I think that age is a big factor. I think that a younger narcissist might not have not insight, but hindsight that older narcissists will have when they think back to past relationships and see a familiar pattern emerge. So I think that older narcissists will probably be more likely to know that they're narcissists. I know the previous study that I mentioned, I think it said that the median age for the participants in that study were 34. So we're looking at younger, middle-aged people. And so they might, at that point, have had 2 or 3 relationships under their belt, and they might have a better knowledge of their own traits at that point. So I believe that maybe younger narcissists might have a harder time seeing it than older narcissists. I think another thing that could maybe make it more or less apparent for a narcissist whether or not they have narcissism is their level of self-awareness. Typically, narcissists aren't extremely self-aware, but I think that they need to be at least a little bit self-aware to know how they're being perceived, so that they can better hide their attitudes or characteristics that they don't want the supply to see at the time. So I think level of self-awareness plays into that, definitely. And then I think another thing that it depends on is if the narcissist has a close relationship with another narcissist, whether it be family member or a friend. So my personal example with this would be that my ex's mother is an overt narcissist. And a lot of times it's so easy to see the overt narcissist and say, oh, yeah, they're a narcissist, duh. But with a covert narcissist, it's less easy to see. And I think that my ex-narcissist saw his mother's covert narcissist and learned what not to do from her and how to better perfect his mask so that it wasn't so apparent, and thus he became a covert narcissist. And that allowed him to access better and more vulnerable sources of supply because they didn't see through his mask right away, like you would see an overt narcissist right away. So I think that can make it easier for a narcissist to understand or see if they are a narcissist or not, is if they can see their own traits and compare them with someone else that they're close with or that they know that is a narcissist. That is all for this video. I know I said a lot in just a little bit of time, but I had done a lot of research on this and I wanted to make it into a video to put up on my YouTube channel. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.